Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan.
And I'm Adam.
And today we're watching Frieren Beyond Journey's End, episode 12, called A Real Hero.
Hit me with a recap first, and then I'll tell you what I think about the title name.
So last episode we had the gang, Frieren, Fern, and Stark, traversing the northern lands. They hit winter, they met an elf, and Frieren had never seen another elf for hundreds of years. And he was a monk. You were pretty convinced that the priest or the monk, we're gonna get another one of them joining the group.
That's right.
And so you thought that it was gonna be this guy, but no, they spent 6 months with this guy. They're going their separate ways.
Stark was training, like a whole bunch with him, right?
Stark got frostbite and Fern had to carry him to the hut.
Yeah.
That's my big takeaway. They're going their separate ways. They're continuing on.
Through the mountains.
Yeah, and Frieren on the other side of the mountain has to get certified.
That's right. So a real hero makes me think of one of two things. It's either going to be Himmel.
Again, Himmel's always the hero in everything.
But doing something selfless, like not heroic, something kind or generous or something like that. Or it's going to be some random character that we meet that is self-sacrificing or does an action like that. I think one of those two things is the play on the title.
I think it's not going to be Himmel because he's always recognized as a hero. I think it's going to be one of the characters that we know who is going to do something unexpected.
Fair enough.
So let's find out. We're very excited to continue on with Frieren. So episode 12 is coming right now.
Stark doesn't like the cold, I don't think.
Well, yeah, he was a big baby. Sleepy baby for Frieren.
フリーレン様が寝てしまいそうです。寝てしまいました。
仕方ない。俺が背負うよ。
けどシュタルク様、斧が。
ああ。けどほら、手は空いてるし。
私が背負います。
え、なんで？
何でもです。
It's so interesting to me that the oldest character should be the leader and should just fall asleep.
結局王様はどうか10枚しかくれなかったな。
ケチだよね。
無理もありませんよ。今まで多くの勇者が旅立ち、魔王の討伐に失敗してきたのですから。
まあ地道に討伐依頼をこなしてロギンを稼ぐのもいいじゃないか。冒険らしい。
そうですね。
ねえ、その剣、勇者の剣だ。
レプリカですよ。
昔村に来た行商人を魔物から助けた時にお礼でもらったものだ。未来の勇者にってね。子供騙しみたいなもんだ。
それが勇者になったきっかけ？
いいや、村の
So is it a legit sword?
ムカつくやつがいてね、偽物の剣しか持っていないから偽物の勇者にしかなれないと僕に言ったんだ。じゃあ本物になってやろうじゃないか。
Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you you can't do something.
It's Hyder. It was the priest.
Yeah, I know.
本物の勇者の剣を手に入れて魔王を打ち倒す。しかし時の流れは残酷。
So he's carrying around a fake
あんなことを
sword.
言っていたハイターは今や叫ぶ。
I'm assuming that the hero sword is imbued with some sort of magic
Is
or
what?
something. Imbued. Is that not a word?
Imbued is a word. I'm not sure of the context.
Fantasy thing that's common with weapons, I believe.
Okay.
I might be wrong. But I'm assuming it has some sort of either magical power or bonus against demons.
So you think the merchant gave him a fake one, and this one that he's carrying now is an upgraded version, a real one?
It's a real sword, but it's probably a replica of the magic one. So it doesn't have the magic. So it can do damage, but it doesn't, like, it's not the whatever they're talking about.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Why would he be carrying it then?
I mean, it's still a functional sword.
Okay. Well, Hyder and him were friends since childhood.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
You're never gonna be anything. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Here we go.
I'll join you on your mission.
ばかり飲んでいる偽物のソウルだ。
本物ですよ。
The slow hero shots with the hair, like I almost cried.
フリーレン様、ようやく目を覚ましましたね。この光景既視感がある。まだ夢の中だね。
だといいんだけどな。
山の天気を甘く見すぎた。このまま北に進んで目的地の集落がある。
Hey, you guys keep walking, carrying me.
フリーレン様、自力で歩けますか？無理。そうですか。いい匂い。
Is she dying?
さすがに運びっぱなしで疲れただろう。フェルン、変わるぜ。うん。
Fern reminds me of me.
Yeah.
She doesn't trust anybody to do anything.
It's just called a perv.
Really?
Yeah.
なんでだよ。
吹雪もだいぶ落ち着いてきたね。凍え死ぬかと思った。
本当にこんな山奥に集落があるんだな。
お待ちしておりました、フリーレン様。君が今の佐藤さん、若いね。はい、49代目です。世襲のも
I
ので。
kind of love this.
Yeah.
ようこそ剣の里へ。里の外に壊れた小屋があったね。昔使われていた狩猟小屋ですね。山の主の仕業です。主？この山にそんなのいたっけ？
ここが剣の里か。
知っているのですか、シュタルク様。
勇者の剣を守っていた里だ。この里の近くの聖域には女神様が授けたとされる勇者の剣が刺さっていたんだ。その剣は歴史上のどんな英雄たちが引き抜こうとしても
Who's it gonna be?
80年前まではな。
No, is it seriously gonna be him
確か言
again?
い伝えがあって。
勇者の剣を引き抜けるのはこの世界を滅ぼす大いなる災いを打ち払う勇者のみ。
それだ。
その剣を引き抜いたのがヒンメル様なのですね。
そうだぜ。結構有名な話のはずだけど聞いたことないのかよ。
いえ、ハイター様からは何も。
Frieren,
こちらです。
little context.
Fern's like, just keep speculating, I know the answer.
しかし困りますよ、フリーレン様。半世紀後にまた来てもらう約束だったのに、温厚な私でもさすがにブチギレですよ。というのが先々代のおばあ様の遺言です。私は80年後でも大丈夫だと言ったんだけどね。勇者の剣を代々守ってきたこの里の連中なら自衛くらい余裕でできるでしょ。確かにそうですけれども、ちゃんとお役目を果たしてもらわないと。お役目って何ですか？魔物退治だよ。この里の周辺には定期的に魔物が湧くから。特に最近は山の主が暴れて大変だったんですから。じゃあ明日にでも始めようか。
Oh, at the same time, sigh.
Coordinated sigh.
You tell me what you're thinking.
I'm kind of disappointed. Well, I feel like there's gonna be a double meaning to Real Hero. So originally it was Himmel who drew the sword from the stone. Also, have you seen that movie?
King
The Sword in
Arthur?
the Stone? No, it came out when we were like little kids.
No.
It was Disney. Archimedes the owl.
drawn
It
by.
was so good. Please tell me somebody watched that movie. I was obsessed with it.
Is this not an exact replica of the King Arthur story?
It was like a Disney-fied version, I think,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know. I know what I know, and that's that movie. But I think one of the group is gonna take over the title, and it's gonna be like happen again somehow. But like, so the sword that he pulled, was it returned to the village then?
You're asking me things that I'm not sure.
Well, you seem to know everything about this.
Well,
anime.
I think he still has it.
The town's supposed to safeguard the sword.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm under the impression that it's back there.
Maybe. That's a good question. I'm not sure what the answer is. Although, with monsters attacking, it probably makes sense that it's back there.
How did it get back there?
I mean, he would have had to come back with the same route after he killed the Demon King.
True.
And he seems like the type of person who would give up the power for the next person who needed it. Oh my god. Which might be the act of being a true hero.
Episode's written. Done.
I'm just saying. What is the point of Frieren falling asleep?
I'm starting to think that she is reaching the end of her life. Like, this is concerning me.
Yeah, I'm kind. There's a reason they put that scene in there because it's somewhat of a useless scene.
No,
Unless
but even
it's
like
foreshadowing something else.
it's building off of when her and Fern were traveling together and she
Correct.
couldn't wake up. But I'm like, when I saw it in this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this fatigue and stuff is signifying like that the end of her life is near.
The
And then
elf eternal dream.
I can't handle that.
Maybe this is her last journey.
I can't. I was like crying in the hero shot of Himmel with his hair fluttering in the wind. Are you kidding me?
Fern is slicing and dicing.
The monsters were all just hanging out and they're like, we'll just take care of
里
all
が
of
近い
them.
ってのに魔物だらけだな。
こんな状況なのにどうして他の冒険者に討伐依頼を出さなかったのですか？
出したいのは山々だったのですが、
ヒンメルは英雄だからね。
しかし本当に魔物が多いな。あの洞窟の前に集まっているな。
Slice and dice, baby! Whoa.
The sword.
フリーレン、これって。
Oh my god. That's a big boy.
主です。
He's huge.
なる
Wowzers.
ほど。私が知らないわけだ。新顔だね。たった80年で主面か。
Those jewels in his
シャル
face?
ク、まだ動けるでしょ。
人使い荒すぎるだろ。
Stark is turning into a ship.
Oh.
上出来だ。
She's gonna blast her through your face.
Like, well,
They're turning into a pretty good
これでお役
team.
目は終わりだね。
フリーレン、こいつはどういうことだ。あれは勇者の剣だ。
魔物が集まっていたのはこいつのせいだよ。聖域は強力な結界で入れないのに、魔物はそれを破壊する衝動を抑えられない。よっぽど勇者の剣が怖いんだろうね。
そういうことじゃなくて。
そうだね。ヒンメルはこの剣を抜けなかったんだ。
今回の勇者も本物ではありませんでしたか？
Is Stark gonna do it?
いいじゃないか。
did Frieren try the first time?
僕は魔王を倒して世界の平和を取り戻す。そうすれば偽物だろうが本物だろうが関係ない。
そしてヒンメルは成し遂げたんだ。あんな剣がなくたって世界を救ってみせた。本物の勇者だよ。ではなぜ その事実を隠しているのですか？
Because it's a better
ヒ
story.
ンメルを英雄に従ってる連中の仕業かな。勇者の剣が抜けなかっただなんて、かっこ悪いエピソードは英雄には不要でしょ。英雄というのはどうしても後世の連中が勝手に美化していく。そしてそのうち原型すらなくなってしまうんだ。
Yep. Go, Stark.
Go try. Somebody go try.
If he walks away, no boy that age could resist trying.
フリーレン様ならやってくれると信じていました。これもおばあ様の遺言です。
お前のばあちゃんの遺言どうなっているんだよ。
じゃあまた半世紀後に。
今度は遅れないでくださいよ。
So did he try to pull it or not?
I guess not.
じゃあ宿に荷物置いたら夜まで自由行動ね。
久々の街だな。羽を伸ばせるぜ。
フリーレン様どうします？
Sleep.
一緒にお店とか見て回りますか？私はいいや。宿でゆっくり魔導書を読むよ。そうですか。じゃあ私一人で。あ、そうだ。今日はシュタルクの18歳の誕生日だから。
She's got a good memory for those things.
なんでそういうこと事前に教えてくれないんですか？私何も準備していませんよ。この町で何か買えばいいじゃん。シュタルク様の欲しいものがわかりません。フェルンは爪が甘いね。フリーレン様のせいなんですけど。ちなみにフリーレン様は何をプレゼントするつもりなんですか？とっておきだよ。服だけ溶かす薬。男ってのはね、こういうの渡しておけば喜ぶんだよって先生が言ってた。何？フェルンも興味ある？この下品な薬買った時に私返品しろって言いましたよね。フリーレン様なんて知りません。この薬貴重だったのに。プレゼントどうするかな。ああ、これがあったか。やっぱ直接探りを入れるしかないか。絶対バレるだろうけど。シュタルク様。出かけているのかな。
I mean, Frieren's idea for a gift for an 18-year-old boy is probably something he would like, but not something you give him.
But you don't actually give it to him. Why does Fern seem like the mother in all of these scenarios?
I think about it from Frieren's point of view. She's been around for 800 plus years. Like, body shame or anything, like, probably just doesn't register for her. It's like, I've seen it all.
She's like, this.
But,
yeah, you will.
But she didn't even come to that conclusion. She's like, my master told me men like
Which I'm
this.
like, how would that ever come up in conversation between her and Flynn?
Just
Like,
probably
is...
random magic potions.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, the funny thing is, I've often wondered, like reading fantasy books and things like this, you never hear about somebody using magic for something like this. And I've always kind of been like, there has to be somebody, if you have those abilities, who would use them for something like that. And of course, here it is in this show.
He's only been reading and consuming fantasy for his entire lifetime, and it took anime to introduce him to what he really wanted to know. Okay, so there is a note, or maybe it's like a potion, spell, something. Curious what that is, but can we rewind? The twist we didn't expect was Himmel not being able to pull the sword out.
Honestly, I love that narrative.
Yes, I love that twist. And I love the explanation. Well, we've brought this up, in various anime we've watched. It's like heroes are romanticized, and how often do you meet someone you look up to and they do not fit the bill? And they're often like disappointing. So the fact that this kind of like turned that on its head, and it's like, yeah, heroes are romanticized, but he was a hero even without it, is like so cool. I love it.
The thing for me was nothing defines what you're capable of doing. Everybody thought in order to do this goal, you have to be this. You have to be able to unlock this. And he's standing in that moment and he fails something he's truly believed of himself. And the one key thing that's going to make you able to succeed doesn't happen for him. And he said, I'm going to do it anyway.
But how many times does that happen in real life? Oh my gosh, it's so... Adam just was so passionate, he spit all over my arm. Like...
At least it's not baby vomit.
Yes, the thing that you set out to do, or that you truly believe that you're capable of, you're not. But is that a reason to stop trying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yes. And also, did Stark try to pull it out?
I think we're going to find out later that he did try.
At the very end.
Yeah.
And maybe he pulled it out and put it back in.
Maybe.
Okay.
背負った戦士様かい？荷車を押すのを手伝ってくれてね。確か広場の方へ向かって行ったよ。
ついさっきまで俺たちと遊んでたぜ。
木から降りれなくなっていたところを助けてもらったんです。
Yeah, that real Himmel.
Wow, he's getting a lot of tasks done.
たくさん人助けしている。フリーレン様はさすがに失礼です。シュタルク様があんなエッチな薬をもらって喜ぶようなはずが。
Is there going to be a thing here?
You want there to be, but she's way older than him. She's like in her 30s now, I think, isn't she?
Maybe.
シュタルク様。
あの雲、おっぱいみたいだ。
エッチだった。
マジかよ。あっちはうんこだ。
違う。こいつガキなんだ。
後でヘルに教えてやろう。
リアクションに困るよ。
But he's thinking of you because she's like, yeah.
シュタルク様。
ヘルン、ちょうどいいところに、あの雲さ。すみません。なんでもないです。
少し歩きませんか？
はい。
Buy him a
ね
treat.
え、なんで怒ってんの？俺なんかした？
どう切り出そうかな。
謝るからさ。
どうやったって怪しまれるんだし、もう直球でいいか。シュタルク様、何か欲しいものとかありますか？
なんで？
今日がシュタルク様の誕生日だからです。
そうだっけ？それと欲しいものに何の関係があるんだ？
Has he never received a birthday present?
シュタルク様の誕生日プレゼントです。
え？何かくれんの？
やっぱりなんかムカつくからあげない。
いや、ふざけていたわけじゃなくて、俺誕生日にプレゼントとかもらったことがないんだ。死んだ故郷の家族からも師匠からももらったことがないから、そういうもんなのかと思っていた。
故郷の家族からも？そういった風習だったのですか？
いや、単に俺が大事にされていなかったんだろうな。俺の故郷は戦士の村でさ、弱いやつの居場所なんかなかった。
魔物相手に何たるざまだ。シュトルツを見習え。怪我どころか返り血一つ、泥一つさえ跳ねていない。汚れ一つない白いマントは この村最強の戦士の証。シュトルツはこの村の誇りだ。
当然だ、親父。
それに比べてシュタルク、あいつは失敗作だ。毎日あれだけ修行しているというのに、
What is he, like
まだ
4?
一度も魔物とまともに戦えていない。降ってきやがった。帰るぞ。
具体に稽古をつけてくる。
あまりいじめてやるなよ。俺は先に帰る。時間の無駄だ。
That's tough messaging.
シュタルク、
He's not gonna beat many monsters with a wooden sword.
兄貴。
Oh, the pure white cape is no longer pure white.
いい集中力だ。お前はきっと強くなる。でも少し構えが悪いな。
Oh,
そういえば兄貴だけは違ったかもな。でも
His gift to you was his time and kindness.
俺は故郷が魔族に襲われた時、そんな兄貴も見捨てて逃げちまった。家族から祝ってもらえなくて当然かもな。俺は逃げてばかりの失敗作だ。ヒンメルだったらきっと逃げなかった。
Everybody runs the first time.
シュタルク様、プレゼントを選びに行きますよ。過去なんて関係ありません。私の見てきた戦士シュタルクは一度たりとも逃げ出していません。
この先逃げるかもしれねえぞ。
私たちが逃がしません。
でも俺は
選ばないなら勝手に選びますよ。
oh my gosh. There are so many beautiful takeaways from these episodes.
What's your number one?
From that scene?
Yeah, because I know what mine
Oh
is.
gosh.
I think
Where do
it-
you begin? There's like the looking back on his family. He had this idea of his family, and now with a bit of maturity and distance and perspective, he understands that his brother supported him and loved him. And even like the dad was so proud of Stoltz's pure white cape, and like even when Stark messed it up, like he didn't care. Like it wasn't about that for him. Like it was his dad's wishes and his dad's like dreams that he was fulfilling, so he was definitely different.
And he even knelt down in the mud.
Exactly, and the whole thing got dirty. And then just like I feel like that's where Stark's lack of self-confidence came from and started, is like running away from the demons. But he was just like a baby. He was just a little kid, and just but even the lesson of like, we've got your back. Like you don't have to worry about those things. Like we are here for you, but you can't change the past. All you can do is be in the moment and live today. Like there's just so many pieces. What about for you?
The thing that I loved about it was that very often we meet people and we think, man, that person has it together, or I wish I could be like that person. But you only see them at a snapshot in their life, and you don't understand the things that they've had to go through or the times that they failed to get to where they go. I know that I've looked at people the same way, and I know I've had people who look at me the same way. And when it happens to me, I can't help but think, man, you missed this and this and this and this where I screwed up or I ran. And that was my comment about everybody runs the first time. Nobody gets to where they are without running, quote unquote. And I thought that that was really cool to just hear that story and then see how he stood with this group and he's learned from those things. I really like that.
Well, the people that you admire the finished version or the current version of them, and you don't know or you haven't seen all of the dirty parts,
Yeah.
or the parts they're ashamed of to get to where they are. So, dang, this is hitting.
It's so good. And the way they present it is, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
じゃあこれにしようか
それは
な。
高いからダメ。
はい。
I'll get you a birthday present, but there's
You've never
definitely a price
received,
limit.
you've never received a birthday present, but not that one.
おかえり。遅かったね。
Should we make a
フリー
cake?
レン様、何ですかこのバカみたいなで
Steaks?
かいハンバーグは。
何言ってんだよ。誕生日と言ったらこれだろ。 師匠もプレゼントはくれなかったけど、誕生日のハンバーグだけは作ってくれたな。
Oh, it was like a hamburger patty
Yeah.
with the bun.
シュタルク、アイゼンから聞いてないの？
何が？
戦士ってのは不器用だね。
フリーレン様がそれを言うんですか？
そうだね。私も不器用だからわかる。バカだよね。思いっていうのは言葉にしないと伝わらないのに。これはね。そういえば誰かの誕生日のたびにバカみたいにでかいハンバーグを作っているけど、これ何なの？
これは俺の地方の風習でな、精一杯頑張った戦士をねぎらうための贈り物だ。俺からの誕生日プレゼントみたいなもんだ。
でもアイゼン、僕たちは戦士じゃないぞ。
頑張った者は皆戦士だ。
そうなの？
どうでしょうね。
精一杯頑張った戦士。
兄貴、何作ってんだ？
ハンバーグ。誕生日だろ。親父たちには内緒だぜ。
His brother believed in him because he worked so hard.
逃げろ、シュタルク。お前は生きるんだ。
アイゼンからレシピをもらったんだよね。どう？美味しい？
あ
I love this moment.
あとこれ。まだ少し残っているから。
また頭からかけますよ、フリーレン様。
ああ？何それ？
シュタルク様には関係ありません。
貴重な薬だよ。
え、どういう？
エッチ。
なんで？
エッチ。
いや、だからなんでだって。
I love how they hit you with that like heart-wrenching emotional moment of passing the steak on to the warrior, the somebody who worked hard, the recipe, and it ends with the nudity potion. It's so good.
These are my first tears in Frieren?
I find that hard to believe.
It might be. Everybody was saying that this is a tear jerker anime, and I've been feeling left out. Because usually I'm like leading the pack, you know? Dang, it only took me till episode 12. And then to find out that his brother told him to run because he has to live, but then he was carrying that guilt with him forever, even though his brother wanted him to survive.
Did that strike you as something he didn't remember and had a flashback? Like the only thing he remembered was that he ran, and now enjoying this, thinking about his brother making the mistake, reflecting on it, he's remembering his brother telling him to run?
My take is that he has always remembered, but just held on to the fact that he left and abandoned him. And even the fact that his brother made him the mistake, to acknowledge how hard he works and to acknowledge that he sees him as a warrior, and like to put those pieces together with words from Aizen passed on from someone else. Like, this is just how crazy the world is, and it's so unfortunate because this kind of thing happens all the time.
100%.
And you very rarely get the validation or the pat on the back or anything from the source. It's always like pieces put together until you actually understand, like, oh my gosh, this person really respected me or thought I was doing a great job.
Yeah, not enough people just come out and say, hey, great work, or good job today, or whatever. And the other thing I love is the message that it's not the result, it's the work you put into that. And that, I mean, personally love that.
Oh my gosh, this is like, if this is how it's going to continue, I am going to be a puddle for most episodes. Like, this is hitting some deep stuff that I think the majority of people deal with or struggle with in their lives, and they're presenting them in such a beautiful, meaningful way.
There was a lot this episode that resonated with me.
I loved
like on a
this
human
episode.
level. Yeah.
I loved this episode so much. And even like for acknowledging and remembering his birthday.
Yeah.
And like Fern getting him a gift for the like and it's the way like so much happens in these episodes when you look back. Like it started out being in this village banishing monsters of who and like figuring out who the real hero is with the sword and stone, and then it evolved into this whole like existential thing.
But did you notice the sword flashback?
I did.
One scene. There's something there.
I thought we were gonna see the scene of him trying to pull it in this episode, but I feel like it's gonna come back around because that flashback happened very fast.
Yeah.
Glad you caught it. I feel like this episode will resonate with a ton of people.
Yeah.
So if you're open to sharing, let us know how it touched you or how it spoke to you. But this one was very good.
Yeah.
We're coming back to this one. Put a pin in this episode. We're gonna circle back for sure.
One of my favorites.
But yes, please let us know your thoughts, and we'd be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Frieren Beyond Journey's End coming next week. Thanks guys.